So look, this is the 1955 elections for the West Riding County Council elections. So this is 1954-55 is when that site got built on. It says it excluded the boroughs of Barnsley, Bradford, Dewsbury, Doncaster, Halifax, Huddersfield, Leeds, Rotherham. What it means is that the boundaries were different. So there wasn't a boundary for Halifax, Bradford, Dewsbury, Doncaster, Leeds, Rotherham, Wakefield, York. Those areas are within here, but they weren't actually the names of the areas for the elections. These names here were included under a different name. Now, according to this, Labour got 44, Conservative 37, Independents 13, and Liberal only 2. Right? So, if this information is correct, it seems quite strange, this, but according to that other page, the Liberals were doing well a lot of the time, but there's no overall control. Now here, what you'll find is, I'll look for the areas that are closest to us. You can see there's quite a lot of Conservatives in those countryside areas up there, and the Labour is more to the right-hand side. That's more like Sheffield, Barnsley sort of area, whereas we are independent with a little bit of Liberal and Conservative. So let's go down this list. The places that some of these places are quite far away. It stretched quite a long way, this old council. So, all right, Brighouse North and South, which is strange. One's Labour and one's Conservative. Castleford no 1 and Castleford no 2. Labour. That looks strange. Right, so Colne. So that's quite close, and we've got Independent here. I don't know why there's Colne Valley number 1 and Colne Valley number 2. One's Independent, though, anyway. Dalton. Well, Dalton is the area we're talking about. Dalton is the actual area of concern, and that is Labour at this time, and that's when we get done over. So Dalton is actually a defined area, which is quite interesting because Dalton is bang on target to the area we're interested in. It's actually got a name for the area more important than Dalton is named as an area defined more important than Barnsley, Bradford, Dewsbury, Doncaster, Halifax, Huddersfield, Leeds, Rotherham, Sheffield, Wakefield or York. So rather than named or labelled as Huddersfield, it's actually called Dalton. And actually Brighouse as well is named. So it was that seems important, particularly when it gets done over to Labour and it gets hit. Denby Dale, also relevant, independent. What's this? Harrogate number 1, 2 and 3. That's kind of ridiculous because they're stretching some of these areas. Right, Hebden Bridge, again, relevant, independent. Hetman Dwight's Conservative. Home Firth, again, independent. N Denton, that's quite strange. Home Firth, N Denton. Home Firth, N Denton. RK Beaver. N Denton. See this? That Dalton is someone called H. Harrison, whoever that was. Brighouse North and South Middleton. I thought I'd seen someone. See, there's Barwick. You see, Barwick is an area. I think that's Barwick in Helmet. That's another place with another significant site. Barwick in Helmet. I thought I'd seen... That Denton is very interesting. Where were we at? Hetman Dwight, that's Conservative. Oh, yeah, Home Firth. Horbury was Labour, which is that's more literally nearly right in the middle of Wakefield there at Horbury. Horsforth is over Leeds way. Murfield, Independent. Ossett, again, Independent. Penistons Conservative. Are you sure these are all the areas? They seem quite strange, these areas, really. Sedberg, wow, now that is far out. Sedberg, Conservative, Illingworth. Sedberg. If these are every area in here listed, there must have been some damn strange areas. Some of these look huge. I mean, look at how far Sedgeburg is. To say that this West Riding Council was based in Wakefield, Sedberg, you're nearly in Cumbria there, you're nearly at Kendal. That is far out. So that Barwick place has got a defined area. And that is critically important because it shows that both Dalton and Barwick were significant enough to be named and have their area. That is significantly important. Where is this? Got Independent there. We've got down to S. Selby, Settle. Well, Settle's far out as well. Settle's as far out as Sedberg. Skipton's Independent. That's going out, that's like going that direction, but not as far out as that. Now, these Barnsley sort of places are Labour. Spenborough, they're both Tory. Stocksbridge was Conservative. Todmorden, that's not too far away. That's going over the other side of Halifax, so that is Liberal as well. Wombwell and Worsborough, Labour. That's Barnsley. So we're actually quite independent. We've actually got an independent an area. We've got this whole area around us is independent when that place gets hit, which is quite interesting to say that the actual area itself has got its own area with a person. It turns out it's Harrison. Just a minute. It's like Harrison Ford, isn't it? Harrison Ford or something. It's like Harrison Ford in the Millennium Falcon shape. He's actually like Harrison Ford in the Millennium Falcon shaped ship, which is interesting. I can't believe, I don't know how that guy managed to get in. But other than that, we've got all independents. But prior to that, it was all Liberal. But Liberal did well all the way up to the end of the council. Although at this time it's only down to 2 Liberals. So some of them were going over to independents for some strange reason. But I'm going to look at the other years and see what we're going on. But it looks like it's this Harrison guy. It's like Harrison Ford, isn't it? And it's actually got a Ford. Harrison Ford! There's actually supposed to have been a water river stream going through it. And then it ended up getting put into a little one and diverted. There's someone doing these movies like Star Wars and stuff like that, and the shape of the spaceships and things like that, who knows a lot more about this than they're letting on in the history and research, political, especially the political side of it. And we need to get to the bottom of it, because we actually Dalton actually that to say that apparently there's no area for Huddersfield according to this. It's actually Dalton and then Murfield and then Home Firth. That's really significant until Kirklees Council gets put in. There's something definitely going on here. And I think that it's an attempt to actually destroy the Liberal movement. But then again, people aren't going straight over to Labour. There's a lot of independents